Let's get back onto the campaign trail and let's talk about some national issues. You're quite vocal, the NDP. You are one of the chief spokespeople.
I am.
One of your pet topics of late has been the National Commercial Bank, but not the sale of the National Commercial Bank. You've been bringing up the Desmond Morgan issue. You wrote a piece in the newspaper
Twice.
Detailing your sentiments on the issue. On this program, do you care to tell us what's bothering you about the Desmond Morgan arrangement?
It is, Tony, it is the principle of the matter that is really shocking and alarming. And in any civilized society, nobody would continue to hold such an high office if you were caught in that kind of situation. It's untenable, totally untenable. The facts in the matter are clear. The Attorney General has signed as co-guarantor to a loan for a business that is not able to pay. The house that she lives in is part of the guarantee. The loan was drawn down when her husband was chairman of the National Commercial Bank, and she has a role to play in the bank as a shareholder of sorts. And I am saying, in circumstances like that, it is a serious conflict of interest. The chairman has been removed from the National Commercial Bank and placed in BRAXA. Clearly, he's demonstrated that he's not fit to hold any chairmanship of any statutory corporation. And so, the Attorney General sits, mind you, sits in deciding what to do with the National Commercial Bank, including how much we must get for selling it. And I'm saying, for the life of me, when you hold a public office, you must be accountable to the people. Those actions are not in keeping with normal behavior.
So you're going to make this, or you have made it, a campaign issue. This is an issue that you're taking to the people.
It is a serious matter.
As mismanagement by the ULP.
It is a very serious matter. You know, when you look at the number of persons who have had their homes sold by the bank after having faithfully paid for a number of years, after having been put out of their jobs, after being not in a position to contribute anymore, unceremoniously their property is put on the auction block. Why, I am asking, why is it that when the National Commercial Bank went to court to deal with the matter, why was only one guarantor named and not the Attorney General, when she is co-guarantor of the very loan, when the very house that she lives in is part of the guarantee to the loan? The question people have to ask, why was she not part of it? And why is she still the Attorney General of the country?
You are seeking these answers to your questions through the political channels. Have you gone to the bankers, Daniel Cummings, and says, look, I want to better understand this issue?
No, I don't have to go to the bank. The documents that I presented, which back up the claims I'm making, are public documents. You go to the registry and collect them.
Yeah, but my point is, the bank certainly must be able to explain
well, I have not heard the bank
why it is played out the way it is played out.
I have not heard the
but
bank.
Have you gone to the bank to solicit a comment?
No, it's gone beyond the bank, because remember, the bank through a solicitor went to court. Now, although the bank gained judgment in default, we are not aware that any action has been taken. We're not aware that any action.
You see, my fear is that we can be using this as a political football. And sometimes the answers to these questions are there if we seek them through the right channels. Yeah. And I'm just trying to
I know, I hear you.
To clear up
but I hear you.
Point.
I hear you loud.
Daniel Cummings is not just playing political football with this.
Oh, on the contrary.
Or has he gone to the bank as a concerned citizen and said to, you know, Mr. Aiton or somebody in a senior position,
I have no
explain this to me?
I have no authority whatsoever to approach a bank.
You're a public figure.
Yes, but it's a personal. Yes, but yes. You know, Tony, on banking issues. The bank is not obligated to give me any information whatsoever. That's why I'm saying the information we have is what is public information. No, the banking industry is different. No manager of the bank has any right to discuss with me on
So you think
issues.
the Prime Minister should answer these questions,
Of course.
basically?
No, not, well, why should the Prime Minister have to answer? The Attorney General should do the honorable thing and resign. She should do the honorable thing and resign.
Mr. Cummings, I heard the Prime Minister in response to you bringing this issue up, which he thinks you're throwing mud. It's a personal, you're delving into some personal matters with the Attorney General. I heard him say that Daniel Cummings worked in Anguilla and was liable for paying taxes from the income earned in Anguilla, but you never paid taxes. I think this is basically trying to show that you are not the straight, clean, squeaky person that you claim to be. You're attacking other people's character. You're attacking other people on affairs that may not be illicit anyway. And yet you've got all these, you've got this skeleton in your closet. Is this a skeleton?
Of course not. But are you surprised? This is the Prime Minister's way of responding to any accusation. If you did something, then the government has a right to do something. The simple reality is, when it comes to income tax, it is not the Prime Minister's business to,
well, he did say that.
to intervene in people's private business.
And he was very careful to say it's not his business.
I'm afraid he really needs to understand the law a little bit more and go and understand the tax laws of this country in particular. Just let me say on that matter, I was invited by the government of Anguilla to come and work in Anguilla for 2 years, and I did that. I worked in Anguilla. I was provided with a house, a transport, and everything. I worked for 2 years, and I came here on vacation during that 2 years. I have no more to say on it.
So you income earned in Anguilla as an ordinary citizen of St. Vincent is not liable to taxes here.
Let me repeat. I lived and worked in Anguilla for 2 years.
So that's your response. You are not liable for any taxes that you on income earned.
That's my understanding.
You're looking at Unrendered. My guest is Senator Daniel Cummings. When we come back, we would be into our final segment, and we would move to some national issues on the campaign trail.